So, I don't know if you've heard of this platform called TikTok. It's apparently pretty popular these days and really grabs people's attention and gets them to stay on the platform for hours, literally. I'm not on it. I can't be stuck on that because I've got a lot of work to do, but Instagram's taking the same. YouTube's doing the same with YouTube Shorts. This is what this video is about, and I'm going to show you guys on what you need to do to really grab people's attention in these short form videos. But obviously not just short form content, but this can apply to long form content as well. YouTube videos, short films, long films, documentaries, all those kind of things. These can be implemented into those. So I've been creating Instagram content for pretty much a whole year straight, literally a whole year straight. And it's gotten me up to 211,000 followers. And the biggest thing is that I actually create a lot of content that obviously comes down to gear, because this is pretty much what this channel is about, but also filmmaking, photography, all those kind of things, but consistent content. But short form content is extremely popular, and there are a few things that you need to take away from this video. And one of the ones is actually watching the content that's already out there, and especially in a different niche, finding it and making it your own. And this can pretty much come down to obviously YouTube videos as well, short films, movies. Tarantino does it all the time. He is notorious for literally taking an idea of another film and putting it into his film. Almost exactly the same, identical. He does it a lot, and that's what he's pretty much known for. And I love Tarantino. He is amazing. He's an incredible filmmaker. Subjectively, only my opinion, but I think he's incredible. But this is what you should be doing when it comes to short form content. Literally seeing what's out there, taking some ideas and making it your own. That's the whole idea of doing trends. But when it comes to filmmaking and editing techniques, that's what you need to try and, consider as well. And that's what that previous video was about. And actually, there's a really famous quote by Picasso saying, "Good artists copy, great artists steal." And in saying that, I don't want you to go out there and just completely rip someone's work off and obviously claim it your own, but obviously getting inspiration of someone's ideas and making it your own, creating something that's very similar, but obviously putting your own style to it. A guy on Instagram, his name's Leo. I pretty much saw his video. I'm like, wow, I need to make a video about this, because Buck Visuals, you've probably seen him where he puts his gimbal into FPV mode and he sort of films at 100 frames per second and does a lot of speed ramping and zoom transitions. That became a pretty massive trend on Instagram. And this is going to become a trend on Instagram as well. Really fast editing cuts and sound designed. It takes a lot of work. Don't get me wrong. It's incredible work and it takes a lot of time. But you need to capitalize on this, and you need to start doing some research into what everyone else is doing, because if you don't watch anyone on Instagram, if you don't watch anyone on YouTube, if you don't watch any films, how are you going to curate those ideas in your head? The biggest thing is trying to gain motivation and inspiration from other creators and trying to apply it to your own work. And if you are a beginner, this is where I actually do suggest you start. Look at your popular content creators out there and just break down what they're doing. Break down what kind of lighting they're using, what kind of lighting techniques they're using, break down what kind of camera movements they're doing, break down what kind of story they're trying to do, what kind of emotion they're trying to evoke, how long their cuts are, what kind of editing techniques with zoom transitions, speed ramps, sound effects. All these kind of things you really need to break down. And that's what I really suggest you do. So sometimes you literally can just watch the video over and over again, or use screen record on your phone. Literally record their video and then play it back frame by frame. Have a look how fast the cuts are. Have a look at absolutely everything. If you are a beginner and you don't want to go to university and learn film, this is a great way. Learn off YouTube, learn off Instagram, learn off TikTok. Record it, have a look at it, see what they've done, and try and break it down and make it your own. That's a brilliant way of learning. You're literally seeing exactly what someone's doing. And then, hey, you may not completely copy it, but then you're like, oh, that's right. I remember that guy doing some zoom transitions. I remember that guy doing speed ramps. Maybe I'll try a speed ramp in this video. Maybe instead of recording at 24 frames per second, I might throw it into 60 frames per second and do a little bit of speed ramping into this video. Maybe I'll try a little bit more on my sound effects. That's probably one of the biggest things that really draws people in this short form content is sound effects. And a lot of people don't actually capitalize on this because a lot of people will use trending audio. Me, myself, I just use trending audio, get a beat drop, that's my video, done. It's simple, it's easy, and it's effective. But if you actually want to really try and immerse someone into a story, sound effects are the way to go. And especially if you are doing longer form content, that is the biggest key. If you're doing YouTube videos, if you're doing documentaries, if you're doing short films, sound design is absolutely key. I cannot stress this enough. The sound design on this thing is incredibly difficult. There's so many swipe transitions and clicks and flicks and 8mm sort of roll reels. There's heaps of different sound effects, and that's what really immerses someone into the story. And that's what brings me to my next one, is story. Like, this video that I just showed you guys actually has a story, believe it or not. It's literally me getting into the editing room, sitting down, opening up a new project and starting to edit my showreel, and pretty much going through the whole process of editing my showreel. And then at the end, Premiere Pro crashes. I mean, how many times have we seen Premiere Pro crash? But no, honestly, it's actually been really good at the end of 2022 and 2023. I haven't had Premiere Pro crash once. It's been incredible. And then one of the biggest things with this video is there's a whole bunch of fast cuts. So it's really shortcuts. It gets people in really quickly, because you think we need to make videos within about 15 seconds, try and grab people within the first 1 or 2 seconds. So these cuts need to be fast, and we need to be picky and choosy with how we're going to be cutting and where we're going to be cutting. And we literally need to put literally clips on the chopping board and be like, okay, well, this is a 5-second clip. We're going to cut it down to 2 seconds. That's literally how fast these cuts can be. They can be a 1-second cut. And then you have a look at the video and you're like, wow, okay, well, there's a lot of camera movement. A lot of these movements that I actually utilized was actually zoom. And now I'm not talking actual lens zoom. I'm talking actually post-production zoom, because when you're looking at on the smartphone, you're actually not going to be noticing any resolution difference. Specifically, if you are recording at 4K and you're zooming in to 1080, I mean, obviously you've got so much room to play with. So actually physically zooming in post is beneficial because it adds a little bit more movement. But there were a few times that I actually grabbed camera and I was actually doing the movements within the camera movements. And then you're looking at this video and you're thinking, well, there's a lot of transitions, and a lot of these transitions were swipe transitions. So I literally used the camera to make some of these transitions. So when the swipe transitions came, I pretty much was filming and then swiped across. But I also threw a swipe transition over the top, which adds a little bit of motion blur and obviously enhances that swipe. And that keeps the editing and the flow sort of moving in a progressive state. It just really encapsulates into that film and just keeps the story moving. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. That'd be absolutely amazing. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Link will be in the description below if you do want to check out Leo's Instagram. And yeah, that'll be it from me. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's get it.